Hello dear Anniversary Front TV viewers. Today we have the pleasure to have an interview with a comrade from Mexico. Our comrade Pamela Pulido Sanchez is a member of International Coordination Committee for Solidarity and Freedom for Revolutionary Prisoners of the World. Hello Pamela.
Hello, thank you very much for the invitation.
Today the topic of our interview is the terror laws of imperialism. We know that in Latin America the revolutionaries, the progressive people, the people that they are in the struggle faced repression from imperialism and the states with the terror laws. So we want to have an interview with Pamela to express the situation of Mexico and whole Latin America, and because we know very well that the terror laws is a weapon in the hands of imperialism to attack the people of the world. We saw many different situations and cases in all the countries, in Greece, in Germany, in Turkey, in all the Europe, and in many countries, as we have now the situation with German pressure of imperialism there, when the 129 AB terror laws that they accuse people for making a democratic struggle because they are Marxist-Leninists, because they are revolutionaries, because they are anti-fascists. So we want to combine the struggles, we want to combine, because we know that the enemy is common, and this enemy is imperialism, and use these tactics, the terror laws, the exploitations, the isolation and the imprisonment to attack the people. So we will give the floor to the Pamela. Pamela, we want to tell us some points about the campaign that you have against the terror laws.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also, we are agree with the importance of talking about these topics, because sometimes, for example, in the revolutionary fight or in the democratic fight, we as social fighters, we don't know about the laws, we don't know how to defend ourselves from the attacks of the imperialism or the bourgeoisie. So it's a necessity to get armed with this information, with these weapons to defend ourselves. So in first place, for example, we consider that the bourgeoisie and the imperialism, they need judicial weapons against the peoples and against everyone who are fighting for the right of the people. So we know that this law, you call it as terror law, we call it as the right of the enemy. Was developed by the bourgeoisie and by the imperialism since a lot of time, but were the Nazis who developed in a scientific way this right. So we consider that, for example, inside the bourgeoisie there are some discussions. For example, one part of the bourgeoisie considers that they need to apply this right enemy, and other part consider that they need to apply the guarantee right. No? So, for example, in Latin America, we are suffering the persecution of the imperialism, and they are applying this kind of laws against the also communists, also revolutionaries, and even against the democratic people, or sometimes people who are not they are not doing anything. Maybe they don't have a political participation, or they are not activists, or they are not in a movement, but they are accused with a pretext of fighting another things like the crime or the corruption and stuff, and they are victims of this kind of laws. No? For example, in Mexico we have a very big problem with the mafia, with the crime, and the state what does they detain the people and apply this enemy rights to deny all the rights of the people, because with this kind of laws the state has the weapons to do not consider this enemy, the supposed enemy, as a citizens. So they deny all kinds of rights of the people. No?
Okay, thank you very much about this explanation. How you think that you will organize a struggle against this repression of imperialism and bourgeois state in Latin America, and also how we can all together combine this struggle, because also as an anti-imperialist front we make many campaigns to extend the international struggle against the laws that use the imperialism to attack to us, and that's why we want to know better about your campaign in Latin America.
Okay, we make, for example, a very important campaigns to teach the people this kind of problems that we are facing, and also to it's important, for example, when we have a political prisoner, we are with them and also with their family. And we teach to the family that they are a victim of this kind of laws, so that is a way they can defend their relative, no? Or maybe they can speak with the lawyer and tell the lawyers, we know that, or we know that we can make this kind of judicial procedure, no, to defend the political prisoner. And also it's important because we know that sometimes that in some time we are going to be also victims of the repression. So if we, for example, I'm not a lawyer, but if I know the laws, maybe I can make a better defense of myself. If I don't have a lawyer immediately or something, I can make a better defense of myself, or even another comrade or another person, if I know these things, no? So for example, in the International Committee Coordination, we call it as like a judicial clinics, that we make like a workshop with the people and we explain these kind of things, and we also hear, okay, you as a relative of a political prisoner, what do you need for us, no? To for example, to improve the conditions inside the prison, to pressure a judge with the objective that the judge don't sentence you, or I don't know, could be anything, no? So we speak with them, and also we combine the legal fight with the political fight. So for example, we organize legal procedures, but at the same time we organize mobilization and try to speak with the government or to speak with the tribunals to make them to have a better solution for us.
Yeah, actually this is the main point that we have also, to combine the struggle, the political struggle with the law struggle. This is the main point, because we know very well that everywhere that we are is a place to give struggle, even is inside the courts, even is outside in the streets. We combine everywhere our revolutionary struggle, and that's why we are very thankful that you are here with us, because it's very important to mention that if we face this repression, is two ways to fight and don't surrender, because the law that they make by imperialism maybe is the law, but it does not mean that it's a fair. Fair and right is the right of the peoples of the world, and that's why we want to combine the struggles, and we are very thankful that you were together with us and give us this interview. What we want to mention is that we know that also exist many political prisoners in all Latin America. Especially we know that you are working so much about the prisoners in Mexico and Peru, and because it's the same, we see that all the political prisoners of the world is the same as our prisoners, and we want to express our solidarity, because we know that they are using the laws against the political prisoners. They use the imprisonment, they use the isolation. So we want from here to express the solidarity to all the political prisoners and to call all the people to support them and give a struggle for their liberation.
So we want to share with you that we have now a campaign for the freedom of specifically some political prisoners in Mexico, in Peru, in other parts like in Chile, in Colombia, in Argentina. For example, in the case of Mexico, we are demanding the immediately release of Juan Diaz. Juan Diaz is part of the International Coordination Committee, and he was sentenced to 10 years of home prison only because he is a leader, an important leader in the south of Mexico of a revolutionary organization. And also we are demanding the freedom of all the persons who are in the Olympus Operative in Peru. They are in prison, they have judicial cases because they fight for the freedom and for the rights of the people. No? So we have this campaign. If you can, there is also why we thank you very much because to the interview because we need to let the world to know that we are suffering these kind of things in Latin America.
Yeah, and we express also the solidarity to Juan Diaz, political prisoner in Mexico, to all the communities in Peru that they are faced huge repression, all the communities that was investigated and under operation in two big operations, Olympus and Perseus. Also, we tell that we are also running a committee against the 129 AB terror laws of German imperialism for our four comrades that they are in prison, Özgür Emre, İhsan Çipelik, member of Group Euron, for the anti-fascists Serkan Küpeli and Hasan Utan, and for this reason is a hunger strike outside of prisons for smashing and abolish the 129 AB terror law. And with this we want to finish that we must fight to get our prisoners outside and struggle all together, because we will never forget the political prisoners, because if you forget the political prisoners means that you forget the revolutionary struggle and you accept the attacks of imperialism, and at the end you forgive the struggle. So thank you very much one more time.
Thank you very much.